Tammy Reed in with your VON Major News package for today, Monday, 24th June 2019. In our lead stories, nationally, elderly woman on St. Kitts died as a result of strangulation, and public warn about stolen music festival tickets. Regionally, United Arab Emirates Energy Initiative to bring greener future for the Caribbean. Internationally, Ethiopia coup ringleader killed. And in sports, Elizabeth Pemberton and Ivor Walters Primary secure victories in the Renako Morton TDC Primary School's cricket competition. We'll have the details to these and other stories after this message.
Different from how you've seen it before.
Another look.
Takes an in-depth look into business, politics, science, technology, religion, and more.
Another look.
Featuring documentaries from the BBC, regional features, and local ones too.
Another look.
Every Monday at 3 p.m. on the Eastern Caribbean's powerhouse, Vaughan.
Welcome back, and now the national news in detail. Forensic pathologist Dr. Valerie Alexandrov performed an autopsy on the body of 85-year-old Elva York of Borrowou, St. Kitts on June 23, 2019. Dr. Alexandrov concluded that her death was as a result of asphyxia due to manual strangulation. Manual strangulation is strangling with the hands, fingers, or other extremities, and sometimes also with blunt objects such as batons. On June 18th, police in a statement said a neighbor of the deceased contacted the police after attempts to contact the elderly woman failed. Upon arriving to the scene, police observed the elderly woman lying motionless on her kitchen floor. The district medical officer examined the body and pronounced the woman dead. Police are continuing their investigation into the matter. The organizing committee of the St. Kitts Music Festival has confirmed that they and the police are currently investigating the theft of 75 tickets for the concerts that are slated to take place at the Kim Collins Athletic Stadium in Bird Rock. The committee explained that the general admission tickets were illegally taken during the course of last week. However, an official indicated that they are aware of exactly which tickets were stolen and have noted the serial number of each of them. The police and other security personnel have been alerted and briefed and will be on the lookout for anyone attempting to enter the stadium with the stolen tickets. Members of the public have therefore been warned that if they are found with any of these tickets, the full weight of the law will be administered and they will not be allowed entry into the concerts. In addition, the committee said it has also been made aware that a number of persons have been offering complimentary tickets for sale to unsuspecting persons in the public. Persons are therefore cautioned against aiding and abetting those individuals who are breaking the law to sell either the stolen or complimentary tickets. The festival officially runs from Wednesday 26th to Sunday 30th June 2019. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Sustainable Development, Ms. Beverly Harris, has officially retired from the civil service after 42 years of service, where she held several positions. Ms. Harris was honored at a banquet at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort on June 22, 2019, which was attended by senior government officials, including Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris, staff of the Ministry of Sustainable Development, close friends and relatives. In her 42-year career, Ms. Harris climbed the civil service ladder where she held the positions of statistical clerk, economic planning officer, chief statistician, director of statistics, and permanent secretary in the Ministry of Sustainable Development. The retired permanent secretary received glowing tributes about her work from the ministry, colleague statisticians, locally and regionally, government officials, and staff of the Caribbean Development Bank. Mrs. Elretha Simpson Brown succeeded Miss Beverly Harris as permanent secretary in the Ministry of Sustainable Development. Medical Chief of Staff at the Joseph N. Franz Hospital, Dr. Cameron Wilkinson, CBE, has been re-elected for a second term as president of the Caribbean College of Surgeons, CCOS, at its 17th annual scientific conference held in Guyana from the 19th to the 22nd of June 2019. The CCOS is a scientific and educational association of surgeons founded in 2001 whose vision it is to improve the quality of care for the surgical patient by setting high standards for surgical education and practice. It currently has a membership of 172 in 26 countries, spreading across the entire Caribbean and North America. Dr. Wilkinson, who was also recently bestowed with the 2019 Royal Award of Commander of the British Empire, CBE, as part of Her Majesty's the Queen's Birthday Honor List. According to the re-elected president, the conference was a great success with 110 scientific papers submitted for presentation at this conference. He said that 17 new surgeons were inducted as new fellows of the college. Dr. Wilkinson was first elected as president of CCOS in 2017 and will lead the August body for another 2-year term. The newly elected executive comprises Professor Shamia Kawich, Vice President from Trinidad, Dr. Charlie Greenidge, Secretary from St. Lucia, and Dr. Christopher Warner, Treasurer from Barbados. The Department of Cooperatives here in St. Kitts and Nevis joins with the cooperative movement worldwide in identifying with the declaration made by the International Cooperative Alliance, which is the global voice of the cooperative movement. Minister of Cooperatives Honorable Eugene Hamilton says this is instructive as the Federation celebrates Cooperative Week.
The declaration reaffirms upholding the statement on cooperative identity, which sets out the values and principles that define cooperatives, and prohibits within its sphere of influence all sexual harassment, including unwelcome sexual advances or conduct of a sexual nature that is intimidating, hostile, or offensive.
Honorable Eugene Hamilton, 2 weeks of activities to commemorate the observance began on Sunday, June 23rd and culminates on Saturday, July 6th, which is the day celebrated internationally as International Cooperatives Day. The theme for 2019, as guided by the International Cooperative Alliance, is Co-op for Decent Work. St. Kitts and Nevis and all the other member states of the Caribbean Catastrophe Risk Insurance Facility, CCRIF, have completed the selection of their CCRIF insurance portfolio for 2019-2020. CCRIF is the world's first multi-country risk pool offering parametric insurance products for hurricanes, earthquakes, and excess rainfall in the Caribbean and Central America. A release from the facility states that this was achieved as of June 1st, 2019, with 9 Caribbean governments increasing their level of coverage for at least one of their policies and one country purchasing cover for an additional peril tropical cyclone that it did not have last year. The release states that as the 2019 Atlantic hurricane season begins, CCRIF members can be assured that they are covered for another year against tropical cyclones as well as excess rainfall events which occur throughout the year, and earthquakes, which may occur at any time. Additionally, the facility has provided its members with two policy features: the aggregate deductible cover ADC and reinstatement of sum insured cover RSIC at no cost for 2019-2020. Finally, a four-member team from the Commonwealth Secretariat is currently here on Nevis. The all-female team is headed by Advisor Caribbean and Head of Good Offices for Peace in the Commonwealth Secretariat, Dr. Tracy-Ann Kremer. While here, the team will participate in a two-day conference for women and youth, which will be held on June 25th and 26th, 2019. Dr. Kremer says the conference will serve as a starting point for community dialogue on the issue of peace and security in St. Kitts and Nevis. The four-member delegation paid a courtesy call on Honorable Mark Brantley, Premier of Nevis, at his office at Penny's Estate on June 21, 2019, ahead of the regional conference. The other members of the Commonwealth Secretariat delegation were Legal Advisor Ms. Elizabeth Kibinga Gaswaga, Program Officer Ms. Sonali Campion, and Program Assistants Ms. Hailene Masaka. The conference, which is sponsored by the Commonwealth Secretariat in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and Gender Affairs, with the theme Women and Youth Participation in Community Dialogue, South-South Approach for Peace and Security in the Caribbean, will bring together women and youth from around the Caribbean, including Commonwealth Youth Ambassadors. That's the national news segment. You can visit our website at www.vonradio.com or check us out on Facebook at Von Radio or our Von Radio YouTube channel for these and other stories. News from across the region is next.
Ladies and gentlemen, this here's another one for the steppers.
Swipe to win big in 2019. That's right, the Bank of Nevis Limited is once again giving you, our valued customers, a chance to win big. Just swipe or use your Bond Visa credit card for US $100 for a chance to win a cruise for two, an iPhone XS, or a grocery dash at Best Buy Supermarket.
Say what?
Sign up for a Bond Visa credit card and automatically be entered for a chance to win. This offer ends August 31st, 2019. So tell your friends and family, just swipe to win big with the Bank of Nevis. The Bank of Nevis Limited, improving the quality of life. Like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram.
Welcome back, and now the regional news in detail. A United Arab Emirates UAE initiative to build renewable energy projects in the Caribbean has opened doors to a greener future for people in a region that bears the brunt of climate change, according to a top Emirati diplomat. 3 clean energy projects launched in November 2018 under the initiative have started offering cleaner air and many other benefits to the Caribbean region, which is highly dependent on costly imported oil and other fossil fuels for transport and electricity. That's according to Babia Abdallah Al-Mouroushi, the UAE ambassador to Cuba, Jamaica, and Haiti, who is also representative of the UAE in the Association of Caribbean States. The projects in the Bahamas, Barbados, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines will deliver 2.35 megawatts of solar and 637 kilowatt hours of battery storage capacity, while displacing more than 2.6 million tons of carbon dioxide annually, the ambassador wrote in a recently published article in the Trinidad Express. The solar and battery storage plants under Cycle Number 1 of the U.S. $50 million UAE Caribbean Renewable Energy Fund CREF launch on the sidelines of the 2017 Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week will save 895,000 liters of diesel per year, worth approximately US $1.1 million, he said. The three projects are also designed to withstand winds of up to 257 kilometers per hour and other extreme weather, following a new requirement introduced in the UAE CREF in the wake of Hurricanes Irma and Maria that caused catastrophic winds and rain in the Caribbean, the envoy wrote. Out of the Cayman Islands, the government has said that in the first 5 months of this year, it had already spent around $1.4 million holding Cuban migrants in and out of the detention center, almost as much as the entire budget for 2018 of $1.6 million. Government closed the immigration detention center at Fairbanks 6 weeks ago as it aimed to accommodate Cubans seeking asylum in another non-custodial facilities, but the center was reopened after the arrival of 2 Cuban men in East End earlier this month. There are another 21 Cuban migrants seeking asylum who have been granted permission to enter Cayman. 7 are now living in approved accommodation around Grand Cayman, while the others are housed temporarily at the Gun-based Civic Center. Officials said that the move to accommodate some migrants outside the detention center is in keeping with international guidelines to provide alternatives to placing the migrants and refugees in detention wherever possible. The United States Customs and Border Protection (CBP) agency says it has collaborated with the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE) Homeland Security Investigations (HSI) in seizing a record amount of cocaine in a container ship with merchandise destined for Haiti. CBP said that the contents of the shipping containers included wine, coated paperboard, vegetable extracts, and dried nuts from Chile, carbon black from Colombia, and scrap metal batteries from the United Arab Emirates. CBP said the examination of the MSC Kenan, a 1,030-foot Liberian flag container ship at the Philadelphia seaport, netted the historic load of cocaine, the largest cocaine seizure in the 230-year history of U.S. Customs and CBP, with an estimated weight of over 17.5 tons and a street value of about U.S. $1.1 billion. It said it seized the cocaine as well as U.S. $56,330 found on the vessel, believed to be proceeds from illegal activity, and that 6 people have been arrested. Finally, in Guyana, President David Granger says he is awaiting word from the country's Elections Commission before he announces a date for the polls. This after a Caribbean Court of Justice CCJ ruling that the no-confidence vote passed against the Guyana government 6 months ago was valid and the country should proceed to the polls. But he has already served notice that it will not be for another 5 months. On June 18, 2019, the CCJ ruled that the 33 votes for the opposition filed motion in the 65-member National Assembly constituted a majority for it to pass on December 21, 2018, as it dismissed the government's argument that 34 votes, half plus one, was required. In an address to the nation shortly after the judgment was handed down, President Granger said that while the coalition government did not believe the no-confidence motion was valid or reflected the will of Parliament or the Guyanese people, it would accept and abide by the CCJ's decision. As he outlined the way forward, as he pointed out that a house-to-house registration process to compile a new voters list must be completed. but opposition leader Bharat Jagdeo, who had successfully filed the no confidence motion, was adamant that there was no need for a house-to-house registration and that a claims and objections exercise could be used to clean up the list. That's it for the regional stories. Stay with us for news around the world. Welcome back, and now the international news in detail. The suspected ringleader of Saturday's failed coup attempt in Ethiopia's Amhara region has been shot dead, police say. Brigadier General Asemenyo Sige was killed as he attempted to escape from his hideout in Amhara's capital, police added. Ethiopia's Army Chief General Sia Menkonnen was killed while trying to foil the coup, the government said.
The Chief of Staff of the Ethiopian National Defense Forces, General Sa'ara Mekonnen, together with retired Major General Gazai Abarra, were also attacked within the home of General Sa'ara Mekonnen. This was happening within his residence. And this heinous crime was committed by the bodyguard of General Sa'ara Mekonnen himself. Both of them sustained heavy wounds and as a result have passed on. And we have enough reason to believe that both of the attacks are linked to the coup attempt that happened in the Amhara region. And the perpetrator for this particular case has also been brought to custody and is under government control.
U.S. President Donald Trump has said he is imposing hard-hitting new sanctions on Iran, including on the office of the country's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei. Mr. Trump said the additional sanctions were in response to the shooting down of a U.S. drone and many other things. Ayatollah Khamenei, Iran's highest authority, was singled out because he was ultimately responsible for the hostile conduct of the regime. Iranian Foreign Minister Javad Zarif said the Americans despise diplomacy. In a tweet sent after the announcement, Mr. Zarif also accused the Trump administration of having a thirst for war. Finally, the UN says tens of thousands of Islamic State fighters and family members being held in Iraq and Syria must be tried and released. Michelle Bachelet was addressing the UN Human Rights Council.
States have important responsibilities for their own nationals. If citizens are suspected of committing serious crimes in another country, or detained on any grounds, its state of origin should make all efforts to ensure that they will be treated in accordance with international law.
Human Rights Chief Michelle Bachelet also called on countries to take responsibility for their citizens and take them back if not charged. She said that children in particular had suffered grievous violations of their human rights. The last IS strongholds fell in March and some 55,000 people are being held. That brings us to the end of our news segments. The latest in sports is next.
See you, John.
Betty, how come you never tell me what's going on up at TDC?
Well, I'm glad you asked because TDC Automotive has some awesome deals. Get the car a new spare tire for just $100 plus VAT. And they have selected tires for 30% off. And for the Jeep, if you buy a selected Goodyear tire, you can get a second one for just $99.
Well.
And not finished yet. They're offering up to 30% off selected Valvoline oils and universal car mats and a whopping 50% off Energix batteries.
TDC Automotive not making no joke. I going up there now.
Welcome back, and now the sports in detail. Results of matches played in the Renaco Morton TDC Primary School Cricket Tournament here on Nevis. On Friday 21st June, Elizabeth Pemberton Primary EPPS won over the Maud Cross Preparatory School MCPS by 4 wickets. Scored Maud Cross 72 for 9 from 15 overs, LY Berkeley 20 and Kemonte Challenger 10. Bowling for EPPS, Cheyenne Body 3 for 20, Kamal Brandy 2 for 12 and Kayan Sadler 2 for 10. EPPS in reply 73 for 6 from 12.5 overs, Wall Samlal 20 not out, Kamal Brandy 12 and Cheyenne Body 10. Bowling for MCPS, Ron J. Daniel 2 for 10, Aidan Williams 2 for 26. And the Ivor Walters Primary won over the Charleston Primary by 10 runs. Scores: Ivor Walters 81 for 3 of 12 overs, Kenron Freeman 28 not out, Omari Jones 18 and Ethan Woodward 14 not out. Bowling for Charleston Primary, Jalik Tyson 1 for 19 and Mikey Sigolam 1 for 12. CPS 71 for 5 from 12 overs, Jaquan Athanase 28 not out, Tashawn Newton 12 and Jalik Tyson 10. Bowling for the Ivor Walters, Krishna Girdhari 2 for 12. Matches continue on Wednesday 26 June with the Joycelyn Liebert Primary taking on the Maud Cross Primary at the E.T. Village Park. Finally, Olympic champion Elaine Thompson ran 22 seconds, the fastest time of the season, as she won the women's 200 meters on the final day of the Jamaica trials. The 26-year-old, who won 100 meters and 200 meters gold in 2016 in Rio, beat Shelley Ann Fraser-Price by 0.22 seconds to claim a title she last took in 2015. Thompson's victory gave her the sprint double after she defeated Fraser-Price in the 100 meters 2 days earlier. Johan Blake was narrowly beaten by Rashid Dwyer in the men's 200 meters. Dwyer ran 20.23 seconds to beat Blake by 0.04 seconds and deny his rival a sprint double following his victory in the 100 meters at the qualifying meet for the World Championships between 28 September and 6 October in Doha. Sharika Jackson also impressed as she claimed the women's 400 meters title. She ran a lifetime best of 49.78 in the second fastest time of the year behind Olympic champion Shawnee Miller Yubo, who clocked 49.05 seconds. That's it for the sports segment. The general weather forecast is next. Welcome back, and now the local weather forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis. Weather tonight, partly cloudy with a 30% or low chance of showers. Weather tomorrow, partly sunny with a 30% or low chance of showers. Winds east-southeast tonight, then shifting to the east tomorrow with speeds 13 to 28 kilometers per hour or 7 to 15 knots. Seas 1 to 1.8 meters or 3 to 6 feet. And sunrise tomorrow will be at 5:38 a.m. And that's how we wrap up the major news package for today, Monday, 24th June 2019. Before we go, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Nationally, elderly woman on St. Kitts died as a result of strangulation, and public warn about stolen music festival tickets. Regionally, United Arab Emirates Energy Initiative to bring greener future for the Caribbean. Internationally, Ethiopia coup ringleader killed. And in sports, Elizabeth Pemberton and Ivor Walters Primary secure victories in the Renaco Morton TDC Primary Schools cricket competition. On behalf of the rest of the news team, I am Tammy Reed, wishing you a pleasant evening.
whistle and vibrate. The whole Caribbean must shake.
860 AM, the Powerhouse.
It is now 6:30 in the Eastern Caribbean. Good evening to one and all out there in Radioland. Today is Monday, the 24th day of June, 2019. I am Melissa Martin. I'll be keeping you company this evening.
Davis comes alive for Culturama 45. Jam. Blessed with a solid foundation. All we have to do is build upon and preserve our cultural heritage and celebrate our freedom from bondage. It is a festival with a difference. Oh yeah, far and near come to experience. Oh yeah, the Caribbean's greatest summer lime, a unique experience of a lifetime. Yes, together we will rise. Yes, together we will rise. And watch as Nevis comes alive. Watch as Nevis comes alive. With mass fun and folklore. With mass fun and folklore. For 45 years and more. 45 years and more. Drink our killer bee and formula and come. Catch the spirit and the cultural fever. It is our pride, our legacy. Culturama, Culturama, Culturama is all away. Jam. People you ain't seen in years. At this time of the year they appear. From poets in the square to the many shows. It's tough to decide which one you want to go. You can sample our national dish. Oh yeah. Or eat whatever local food you wish. Oh yeah. I know the fete does get sweeter when our brothers and sisters from St. Kitts come over. Yes, together we will rise. Yes, together we will rise. And watch as Nevis comes alive. Watch as Nevis comes alive. With mass fun and folklore. With mass fun and folklore. For 45 years and more. 45 years and more. Drink our killer bee and formula and come. Catch the spirit and the cultural fever. It is our pride,